Hey there everyone, and I thank you guys so much for tuning into yet another wild and crazy orchid adventure with me, Maria Young. Okay, so today I wanted to share with you a very funny story involving a friend and also a fellow YouTuber by the name of Louisa Dinga. And I hope I pronounced your name right, and if I didn't, please accept my apologies. And no, I didn't mean to do it. I promise I didn't. Anyway, so she was telling me about the story of how she indeed was going to do an extreme propagation process with her Phalaenopsis. She had selected one that was very healthy, but one that just didn't seem to grow. I mean, for a couple of months, it just absolutely did not do anything. So she decided that this would be a great candidate to do the extreme propagation with. And to prepare herself, she decided to watch my video over and over and over again just to boost her confidence and give her some courage. And finally, when she was actually ready to do the extreme propagation, she had her Phalaenopsis there before her, and oh my gosh, she was like totally shocked because out of nowhere, folks, this Phalaenopsis started to grow like crazy. And I'm talking about roots like everywhere. And so when she seen that her Phalaenopsis indeed retaliated by saying, "Hail to the law, this is not going down like that," well, she decided to change her mind because indeed the Phalaenopsis did not want to go through the extreme propagation. So she stated that she is probably going to do that with another Phalaenopsis. But I wanted to share that with you folks because I actually have done that myself. Yes, I have used the threatening method, in which it does work. At least it did for me as well. And folks, with my big girl, Vanda, I did that. I mean, I told her, "Look here, girl, if you do not do anything, if you don't pick up the pace, I am going to take the knife to you, the slicer, and slice, and cut." Well, let me tell you, my Vanda absolutely heard me and absolutely believed me, because all of a sudden, out of nowhere, folks, her roots started coming up from here, there, and everywhere. She was growing like mad, like totally mad. So, folks, I could not believe it, but in that case, it worked. She not only grew like massive root system out of the air, she also, get this folks, she also decided to seal the deal by spiking for me. Yes, she did. Out of all the 3 years that she had not spiked, in this case, when she knew I was going to do the extreme propagation on her and I made those threats, she indeed decided to get back on track and pick up the pace. So does it work? Yes, it can work, folks. It's all about orchid love, folks. So don't you dare turn me into the orchid society, okay? I don't need to be locked up in some orchid prison somewhere. All right, folks? But it is all in orchid love. It's kind of like raising your children. You know, sometimes you have to make innocent little threats, and sometimes you have to prove a certain point by going through the drastic methods, but it's all for the love of the child, and in this case it was our orchids. But still, it is all in good love, and it sometimes hurts us more than it really hurts them, folks. So one of the things that I wanted to share with you, in case you guys are having a little bit of problems with your orchids growing and you want to try the threatening method, here is another strategy that I have for you, and I'm going to show you a couple of pictures of myself, and they're very scary, they're very hideous, they're very gruesome. So, excuse me, pardon me, sometimes I have my bad days. But these pictures are actually for a local film that me and my husband participated in, and it was for a very scary role, as you can see here. But folks, I'm really not that scary. Well, and then again, I guess my husband might have something else to say about that. But anyways, folks, again, just another method for you. With that being said, folks, let's go ahead and get our extreme propagation update on our Vanda. How about that, folks? How about that? Okay, folks, so here we are after about 2 months from our extreme propagation that we did on my big girl Vanda. As you guys can remember, this Vanda stood at like 3.5 feet tall, and she was very tall and very lanky, and indeed was posing a risk to her health. So what I decided to do was to cut this Vanda in 3 segments, because at the bottom she was very, very long. Cut her in 3 segments, and we decided to see exactly what would transpire if indeed this would be a successful propagation. Now, as you are seeing right here and right now, that her big stem, or her main stem right here, has not changed one bit. Indeed, she did not skip a beat at all. She is looking very healthy. Her foliage system is as healthy as ever. And as you can also see in here as well, look at those roots. So indeed, it did not show any negative effects on her right here. Now, we want to show you another segment that it kind of did have an effect on in a negative way. Okay, folks, and in this segment right here that we cut off, you can see all of the dryness in the roots. You can also see that the stem portion is no longer green in any area at all. And I looked throughout this stem, and I also picked and I prodded, and I was trying to find some form of life in here. And indeed, folks, this is a dud. This was too extreme for this to try to survive. We indeed did not accomplish our mission in this case. And you know what? You win some and you lose some. Now, in this stem cutting right here, we didn't exactly follow the rules either, because it says 2 to 3 root systems, and we followed the rule in that regards. But it also says 3 to 5 leaves as well, and as you can see, there's only 1 leaf in this case, but we decided to try it anyways. And folks, looky here. In this case, wowee, we have been successful, because as you can see right here, this indeed is a keiki that is beginning to grow. And in about 2 months, this is all that it's grown. So wowee. Keikis on Vandas are indeed slow growers, not like our fellow Dendrobium nobilis or our Radican orchids. Their keikis grow quite extremely and quite quickly, and Vandas do not. This is after 2 months, guys. And we are finally just seeing the indications that this is not going to be a root, and it's not going to be a spike either, because now you are seeing where it is beginning to split at the very end into. And that is indicating that those are going to be the start of its foliage. And folks, here's some more good news. Throughout the entire stem, on both sides and on both stems, we are noticing that there are still some nubbins that want to give us some lovin'. So indeed, we'll have to wait and see exactly what these develop into, because they can be new growth of roots or even possibly more keikis. And folks, the good news does not stop there. Now, let me tell you, when you do a propagation on an orchid, you have a possible risk, and actually it's a great risk, that that actual orchid will regress, and it will have to go through a recovery process in which it is set back. So it's not going to normally grow like it normally would if it had not been propagated, and that is also in the case of providing us a spike. But folks, didn't I tell you there's some more good news? So taking a close look into here, folks, let's see if I can give you guys a close-up. Do you guys see that? Oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. I cannot even believe this. This big girl Vanda has decided to give me yet another spike, even after all that she's been through. She is such a strong and loving gal. Folks, I am so happy to have done this extreme propagation on this Vanda, because indeed I think she is going to be so much healthier. She's already looking like that. And of course, we are also going to get some babies from her as well. So, I mean, you really cannot lose with this, right, folks? So, indeed, folks, with this extreme Vanda propagation, yay! We are so happy to announce that indeed it was a success, and it gets 2 thumbs up. way up. And folks, since we are on the delightful topic of Vandas, indeed, I wanted to give you a quick update on how my Vandas are doing now. Okay folks, and as you can see here, my Vandas have like totally multiplied in this tree right here. Like, oh my, I can't even keep count anymore. There's just so many beautiful, beautiful Vandas throughout my entire garden. And when I say throughout my entire garden, I really mean that. I mean Vandas galore, folks. And folks, I kid you not when I say they don't die, they multiply. Like, oh my. And if you guys can remember, a good like 3 months ago, I had purchased about 4 big Vandas, and they were in spike. And as you guys can see right now, folks, she right here is in spike again, blooming me 11 glorious blooming blossoms right here. Very, very pretty. She indeed is such a happy girl and such a dynamite bloomer. And checking out her phenomenal, very healthy root system right here. Just so beautiful. She has grown quite considerably in her root system because I water her at least once a day, sometimes 2 and 3 times a day, because for me it is so much fun watching their roots turn different colors, similar to how a mood ring would change colors. And indeed, I just am definitely a big root gal, and I just love it when I see all of these healthy roots. Well, okay, what else is going on with your Vandas, you may ask? Well, ask no further. Because indeed, folks, it appears that we have yet another spiker on our hands. Oh my, and I have to say, I am quite delighted indeed. Oh, but that's not all, folks, because as you can see here, this is another Vanda that's also giving us another spike. And look here, there are actually 2 spikes. This Vanda right here decided to give us double loving. Oh my, and I have to say, I am doubly delighted. But folks, here's even one more surprise. Oh my. I did go out and renege on the deal of not buying any more Vandas. And yes, I did purchase one more. And I'm not quite sure what this one is because this is a UFO, a very unidentified but yet still very fabulous orchid right here. But indeed, it did not come with a tag. But as you can see, it's a very, very deep color. And if we even take a closer look at that tongue right there, oh my, it's almost a black. That's how dark the tongue is. So indeed, I seen one of these and I could not say no to the deep tessellated petals right here. It was just an extreme allure for me, folks. And indeed, you guys already know I am such an addict when it comes to beautiful Vandas. So yeah, how could you say no to this? I don't know how, and indeed, I could not. And folks, these are some awesome results that I've been able to achieve with a little bit of dedication and of course a whole lot of loving. And these Vandas right here will greatly reward you every time. So the hard work and effort, folks, are very well worth it because as you can see, these are triple wow orchids, giving you a wow factor in their root system, also in their magnificent foliage, which is so tropically delicious, and of course, dun-dun-dun-dun, their amazing, phenomenal, long-lasting blossoms. Yes, very well worth it. And I thank you guys so much for tuning in to yet another wild and crazy adventure with me, Maria Young. And of course, if you guys like this video, please be sure to give it 2 thumbs up. And if you want to see more videos such as this, please be sure to subscribe to my channel where you will get the latest and greatest news of my orchid paradise. And if you guys want to connect with me on Facebook, please be sure to do that at My Orchid Adventures on Facebook. And also, if you want to connect with me via snail mail, you can do that as well by writing me at the following address right here. Again, I thank you guys so much and I appreciate you all. And of course, as always, happy Orchid Day and happy growing to everyone. And as you guys already know, I love you all. Bye-bye. Ow. Hello. Okay, so she was telling me about... oh my gosh. Ow. Hello. And she just